The city never slept. Lights from towering skyscrapers reflected on wet streets, and the sound of traffic echoed through every alley. Among the chaos, a mother named Amara lived a quiet life with her only son, Jide. They had each other, and that was enough. Jide, a young man with big dreams, worked hard at a small tech company, while Amara ran a tiny cafe nearby. Life was simple, but happiness often hides in small moments. Amara watched her son one evening, smiling as he talked about a promotion he had earned. She felt proud but unaware that danger lurked close by. Victor, a wealthy but ruthless businessman, had been scheming to take over the small property where Amara's cafe stood. He saw Jide as an obstacle, and he would stop at nothing to remove him. The first shadow of fear crept into Amara's heart, though she did not yet know how deep the darkness would go. One rainy evening, Amara received a phone call that froze her blood. Her voice trembled as the police officer explained that Jide had been found dead in an alley. The city lights blurred through her tears as she tried to process the words. How could her only son be gone, and why? She ran to the scene, her heart pounding, only to find Jide's lifeless body, cold under the harsh streetlights. The police said it looked like a robbery gone wrong, but Amara noticed something strange. Jide's wallet and watch were still on him. Someone had meant for him to die. The city, once vibrant and full of life, suddenly felt cold and hostile. Fear turned into rage, and Amara vowed silently that she would not let her son's death be in vain. She didn't yet know how far she would go, but something inside her snapped that night. Victor, the businessman, sat in his high-rise office, staring at the city through glass walls. He thought the problem had been solved. The young man standing in his way was gone. But he didn't understand the depth of a mother's love. Amara, despite her grief, began watching Victor from a distance, noting his routines and habits. The city's crowded streets worked to her advantage. She could disappear among the crowds, unseen. Every movement of Victor's was calculated, but Amara learned to move faster. She visited the offices he owned, the restaurants he frequented, even the alleys where he met his secret contacts. Each observation made her more determined. The city's concrete jungle was dangerous, but Amara felt that within it lay her power. Something inside told her she could turn the hunter into the hunted. While cleaning Jide's apartment, Amara found a small notebook hidden under his bed. It contained notes about his work and a few mentions of Victor's shady dealings. He had suspected something, though he never told his mother. Her hands shook as she read the words, realizing that Victor's greed was deeper and darker than she had imagined. Amara kept the notebook secret and began tracing each lead. She talked to Jide's friends cautiously, pretending she wanted only memories of her son. Each conversation revealed tiny hints about Victor's network of corrupt allies. The city suddenly seemed like a puzzle, full of hidden corners and secrets. Amara felt both fear and a strange thrill. She had found a way to fight back. Amara decided to confront Victor indirectly. She started by sending anonymous tips to the police about his illegal activities. She knew she could not act openly yet. Each tip brought tension to Victor's life, and he grew paranoid, unsure who was targeting him. The city felt smaller now, every shadow potentially hiding a threat. At night, Amara walked the streets where her son had been killed. She imagined Victor watching, always one step ahead. But she had grown careful, learning how to blend in and how to gather evidence without being noticed. Fear lingered, but it no longer controlled her. The city had become a chessboard, and Amara had begun her first strategic move. Amara realized she could not do this alone. She sought out Detective Musa, a seasoned officer known for taking risks. At first, he was skeptical of her story, but her knowledge of Victor and the evidence from Jide's notebook convinced him. Together, they started planning a careful investigation. Victor, unaware that his empire was being quietly dismantled, grew more reckless. He began making hasty business moves and threatening people who might betray him. The city became tense, with whispers of corruption in the air. Amara and Musa knew time was against them. They had to act before Victor destroyed any more lives. Detective Musa discovered that Victor was laundering money through multiple businesses, including the one that threatened Amara's cafe. He was careful but not clever enough to cover all traces. Amara collected the final pieces of evidence, documenting every transaction and threat. Her grief had transformed into relentless focus, and every day in the city strengthened her resolve. Amara realized Victor had underestimated her. The ruthless man believed a grieving mother would remain powerless. But she had become invisible in plain sight. Each day she walked past his guards, past his cameras, and past his arrogance, gathering proof. The city streets that once felt cold now felt like a stage for justice. Amara decided it was time to send a warning. Using social media and local news, she leaked some evidence of Victor's corruption, without revealing her identity. The city buzzed with curiosity and fear. People whispered about a mysterious figure exposing a powerful man. Victor panicked. He increased his security and began to lash out at his employees. Every corner of the city seemed unsafe to him now. Amara watched silently, heart pounding, knowing that fear could be a powerful weapon when wielded carefully. The balance of power had started to shift. One evening, Victor's men spotted Amara near his office. She narrowly escaped, ducking into a crowded metro station. Her heart raced as she realized the danger had grown closer. The city that once protected her with anonymity now felt suffocating. Every face in the crowd could hide an enemy. But Amara refused to run. She used the city's chaos to her advantage, learning every escape route and timing her movements. Fear had become a tool, and she embraced it. Every narrow escape strengthened her resolve. Victor would not silence her, no matter how powerful he thought he was. Amara and Detective Musa decided it was time for the final move. They gathered enough evidence to expose Victor publicly. They planned to confront him where he felt safest, in a charity gala, attended by influential city figures and reporters. The city's elite would witness his downfall firsthand. Amara felt a mix of fear and excitement. The night of the gala, she dressed elegantly, blending in with the crowd, while hidden cameras and evidence followed Victor's every move. The city lights reflected off the glass walls, mirroring the tension in her heart. The moment of truth was near, and nothing could prepare Victor for what was coming. As Victor smiled at the gala guests, Amara's carefully planted recordings began to play on large screens. His threats, bribes, and plans were revealed in front of everyone. Gasps echoed through the room, and Victor's face turned pale. The city's most powerful figures watched as the truth spilled out. Victor tried to deny everything, but Detective Musa had anticipated his lies. The evidence was too strong. Panic spread across the room, and the city that once admired Victor now looked at him with shock and disgust. Amara stood silently, heart heavy but proud. Justice, long delayed, had arrived. News of Victor's exposure spread like wildfire. Social media exploded with comments and videos of the gala. The city buzzed with curiosity and admiration for the mysterious woman who had dared to confront a powerful man. Amara's name was still unknown, but her actions inspired fear and respect. Victor was arrested shortly after, but the damage to his reputation was permanent. The city had witnessed the fall of a man who believed he was untouchable. People whispered about the mother who turned grief into courage. Amara's quiet bravery had changed the city forever. Amara returned to her cafe, the place that had started this journey. The city outside was alive with lights and movement, but inside, she felt a strange peace. She thought of Jide, imagining his pride in her courage. The pain of losing him was still raw, but she had turned tragedy into action. The city, with its endless noise and endless faces, no longer felt hostile. It had become a place of justice, a place where even the smallest person could fight back. Amara realized that life, no matter how cruel, could be shaped by courage and determination. After the events, people came forward to thank Amara, though she remained anonymous. Business owners who had suffered under Victor's influence found hope. The city slowly began to feel safer, knowing that corruption could be challenged. Amara continued running her cafe, but she also mentored young people in the city, teaching them resilience and courage. Her story spread quietly, a whisper of hope in a busy, indifferent city. She had found a new purpose, honoring Jide's memory in every small act. Months later, Amara watched the city from the rooftop of her cafe, lights twinkling like stars. She smiled softly, thinking of her son. The city had been harsh, but it had also revealed her strength. Fear had not defeated her, it had forged her into someone unstoppable. The memory of Jide remained in her heart, but the city was no longer a place of grief. It was a place of courage, justice, and hope. Amara had turned tragedy into triumph, and in doing so, had left an unforgettable mark on the bustling streets she called home.